A1505. We are from group 17 for our research study, Effect of Personality Trait on Quality Work among UMK staff. Today I will explain chapter 1 from abstract. As we know, personality trait have significant effect on employees' work excellence, and a lot of organization capitalize in this effect. Personality is one of the maximum critical personality element figuring out human behavior. In psychology, the 5 character traits are 5 highest classes or dimension of criteria. As the result, the study specific in the result of character trend on best overall performance among UMK staff. However, the cause of the look at is to decide the extent of character trend among UMK staff. The study will be even investigate the demanding situation the UMK staff have will attractive with character trend on this job. Finally, we can look at the aim to decide the evaluation among character trend and body of worker best for work. For introduction, chapter 1 is consist of the history to observe, a trouble statement, a study goal, study question, importance of the examiner, definition of paragraph, and also a summary. A problem statement will in general spotlight the bad aspect of the contemporary situation and explain why it falls correctly to cope with that trouble, now as opposite to it inside the length run. The study goal talks to the statement of purpose or most purpose, which will be specific with inside the shape of move to reply to the posed question. To explain this problem, the subheading are composite of problem, declarations, a study question, and also a study goal. Okay, next for the background of study, we have 2, research and also personality trait. Okay, what is the research? Research is describe the technology of recent concept, methodologies, and understanding the improvement of recent information, the innovative utility of present understanding. This should entail an analyzing currently study to the value that it result in new and modern result. Okay, for the personality trait is described as a consistent pattern of behavior verified with the of using a character due to his or her private value, experience, feeling, and also goal directly over time. Personality trait can affect man or woman behavior within sight the future. Okay, for the problem statement, there is a loss of information study at the effect of character element on worker process overall performance. As the end result, the trouble addressed on this have a look to investigate for the effect of personality trait on quality work among UMK staff. A review of the literature reveals that variety of things have influenced employees' quality of work. Personality staff have become a way to enhance the University Malaysia Kelantan at the same time as additionally development work. Suddenly, this is a keeping with the character of work. On the opposite hand, the quality of provider regions employees paintings must be considered as unfavorable character development and cause negative process overall performance. Okay, now for the research question, we have 3 important research questions for the finding and direction of our research study for the effect of personality trait on quality work among UMK staff. First, what is the level of personality trait among UMK staff? Second, what is the challenge of UMK staff to facing the personality trait on the job? 3. What is the relationship between personality trait and quality work among UMK staff?
Research objective. Number 1, to find out the level of personality traits among UMK staff. Number 2, to identify the challenge of staff UMK in facing personality traits in the job. Number 3, to find the relationship between personality traits and work quality among UMK staff. For scope of study, The purpose of this observation is to study the relationship between the consequences of personality traits on quality works among UMK staff. Personality traits have been linked to the quality of an employee's work. The Big Five personality check make it easy for humans to organize how they respond to a variety of situations. The main personality traits of the Big Five are divided into 5 types, such as openness, extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and neuroticism. In this observation, we can find out the extent of personality trait among UMK staff and what are the challenging situations regarding labor quality. This personality trait describes how UMK employees act and think while completing the responsibilities given by the employer. Significance of study. This observation will examine how personality trait and the right quality of work will affect the overall work performance of staff UMK. The job must fit the personality of the employee. Jobs that fit the personality will produce more productive employees and improve the quality of work. Employees will feel more comfortable to work and employee performance will increase. It also identifies the challenging situation faced by employees at UMK, whether they are happy with the task assigned or not. So every company must know how to manage employees who have unique personality trait. In addition, we can also determine the extent to which the personality trait of UMK staff are associated with job performance. Study factors show how personality traits relate to activity, quality, and can influence overall job performance. The Big Five model has 5 types of personality, including openness, neuroticism, extroversion, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Openness is imagination and insight, have a broad range of interests, like to learn new things and enjoy new experiences. Neuroticism is also known as emotional stability, relate to what emotional stability and degree of negative emotion, experience emotional instability, anxiety, moodiness, irritability, and sadness. Extroversion is excitability, sociability, talkativeness, assertiveness, high amount of emotional expressiveness, get energy from interacting with others, where introverts get their energy from within themselves. Agreeableness is a personality trait like trust, altruism, kindness, friendly, cooperative, compassionate, interested in doing things for the common good, while people with lower agreeableness may be more distant. Conscientiousness is high level of truthfulness, good impulse control, organized, methodical, goal-oriented, thoroughness, reliable, prompt, and tend to be organized and mindful of details. Quality works. What is quality works? Quality works is the service or task one completes successfully within the estimated time, with the end output satisfying the expectation of everyone involved, including oneself. The quality of work is very much related to the personality trait of the individuals. Employees with personality trait like introversion will be easy to approach because they are talkative, friendly, and good at interacting with others. This will make the work environment will not boring. When employees begin feel comfortable with their jobs, they will become more productive and efficient in doing the works. This will be able to improve the quality of work of the individual. Job satisfaction is defined as the level of contentment employees feel with their job. This goes beyond their daily duties to cover satisfaction with team members or managers, satisfaction with organizational policies, and the impact of their job on employees' personal lives. When employees feel happy, all assigned tasks can execute well and excellently. Employees may feel they are prioritized because all the effort they make are rewarded by the company. In addition, the overall job performance of the employee may increase. So for the summary, chapter 1 is a study to look at the personality trait related to satisfactory work among UMK staff. It makes the specific personality trait of each individual and the way employees respond to the scope of work received. Personality is strongly associated with employee satisfaction in a high satisfying job. In addition, The research index the study question, and the goal of the study were indexed to help generate test observation in this study.
Assalamualaikum sir, my name is SAUFINAH binti RAHMAN and my matric number H20A1559. Today I'm going to present about chapter 2 literature review with my partner RAHMAN. First, the introduction. The term literature in a literature review means a published or unpublished research article that has been conducted by another person in a particular field. Literature review is the process of summarizing and synthesizing scientific research on a specific topic. In obtaining a literature review, there are some concerns that need to be considered, including what is literature review, the purpose of literature review, sources of literature, and writing up the literature review. Review of literature is a form of academic writing that is often used in the field of science, social science, and even the humanities. In literature review, it does not involve research that raises new argument and produce a new research result. Instead, the literature review organizes and presents existing research. In conducting a study on the effect of personality traits to quality work among UMK staff, researchers have using questionnaire method to provide an overview of the content being studied. Researchers using this method because it is more effective than using a survey. In addition, this method is more faster and the cost is cheaper than using survey method. The standardized answer of a survey questionnaire instead of a person-to-person conversation make it easier to compile usable data. A research questionnaire is typically a mix of closed-ended question and open-ended question. Researchers using a quantitative research study to evaluate this study. Quantitative research are the research that relies primarily on the collection of quantitative data. Next is dependent variable or DV. A variable is an object, event, idea, feeling, time period, or any other type of category that researchers are trying to measure. There are two types of variable, independent variable and dependent variable. A dependent variable is exactly what it sounds like. It is something that depends on other factors that are measured. These variables are expected to change as a result of an experimental manipulation of the independent variable or variables. Usually, when researchers are looking for a relationship between two things that researchers are trying to find out what makes the dependent variable change the way it does. Dependent variable is the pressure effect. In addition, dependent variable is a variable that represents a quantity that changes based on other quantities being manipulated in an experiment. A dependent variable represents a quantity that is being manipulated directly. In the context of a function, the independent variables are the input to the function and the dependent variables are the outputs of the function. Next is definition of quality work. Quality is the totality of features and characteristics of a product or service that bear on its ability to satisfy given need. Meanwhile, work is defined as an activity in which one exerts strength or faculties to do or perform something. Quality work refers to work that meets and exceeds client or company expectation. Quality work is an important element of job performance and satisfaction. In this study show that there are several effects of personality traits to quality work among your UMK staff, which is negative and positive effect. Next is antecedent of effect personality traits to your quality work among your UMK staff. The word antecedent comes from the Latin antecedere. The word ante is meaning before and cedere meaning go, so the word literally means go before. A clear antecedent is important because it links crucial part of a sentence or paragraph, allowing for smooth readability and greater understanding. In this study, personality traits was defined as a consistent pattern of behaviors demonstrated by an individual because of his or her personal values, experience, feelings, and desire derived over time. Personal traits can predict individual behavior in the future. Meanwhile, quality work refers to work that meets and exceeds client or company expectations. The findings of meta-analytic study have found that only certain personality factors had a relationship with quality work. The results of the study are inconsistent with each other. For example, according to Strong and Kanher, found that personality for the prudence dimension is strongly correlated and consistent with job performance. In an organization, job performance is important to ensure that the organization functions at an optimal level. This is because the strength of an organization lies in how an employee feels comfortable doing work, and that will lead to better quality of work among staff. Next, I will pass to Rashma to present.
Hi sir, I'm gonna present about the independent variable. There are three independent variable in our research. The first one is consciousness. High consciousness personality are logical, reliable and risk averter. These persons are responsible, reliable, determined, cautious and true, who focus on success, which is also very significant characteristic for performing work tasks. This is the reason consciousness persons are best related with quality work in all the traits. Consciousness individuals are among the best to lead to significant quality work because of their work participation and their characteristic of being able to take the opportunity to get formal and informal rewards, and also echo a positive link between effective commitment and consciousness. The second independent variable is neuroticism. Neuroticism signifies variance of individual tendency to experience suffering and is defined as emotionally insecure and uneven. Neurotics possess traits including annoyed, stressed, sulky, unsociable, nervous, embarrassed, uncertain, doubtful, unconfident, fearful, and dejected. A high neuroticism score indicates that a person is prone to having irrational ideas, being less able to control impulses, and coping poorly with stress. A low neuroticism score is indicative of emotional stability. These pupils are usually calm, even-tempered, relaxed and able to face stressful situations without becoming upset. The third independent variable of the research is agreeableness. Agreeable also defines the virtues such as self-sacrifice, helpful, nurturance, gentle and emotional support at one end of the dimension, and enmity, indifference to others and self-interest on another end. This is an important factor for social interaction, as a person with great agreeableness state with develop a good interpersonal relationship and blends into a group faster. This will encourage team cohesiveness and effectiveness due to positive emotionality in interpersonal situations, and suggested that the agreeableness can effectively predict for quality work in job. The next part is relationship between the consciousness, neuroticism, agreeableness and quality work. Personality characteristics mainly describe the predict human behavior, not behavioral changes on development. The personality traits play a very significant role in developing quality work, which result in increased organizational output. Those are consciousness, neuroticism and agreeableness. Consciousness must be directly related to the job performance of employees. Therefore, a consciousness state of personality can predict quality of work in job in number of different nature of performance of UMK staff jobs. With few exceptions, majority of the studies confirm that consciousness is valid predictor for the quality of work. Neuroticism is the most important characteristic that affect the employability of candidates. Neuroticism is composed of few negative attributes as stress, nervous and anxious personality. In a recent studies found that neuroticism is inversely related to quality of work in jobs. Agreeableness can be a best predictor to the quality of work personal and managerial level because agreeableness trait contains attributes as cooperative, tolerant and cautious with others. So overall researchers are in consensus that agreeableness can positively and significantly predict the quality of work in jobs. The next part is hypothesis. There are three hypotheses in our research. The first one is there is a relationship between consciousness towards quality work among UMK staff. The hypothesis 2 is there is a relationship between a neuroticism towards quality work among UMK staff. The last one, the third is there is a relationship between agreeableness towards quality work among UMK staff. The next part is conceptual framework. In the figure 2.0, the direction of arrow shows from IV, there is a consciousness, neuroticism and agreeableness, to DV, quality work. That means IV, consciousness, neuroticism, agreeableness influence the DV, quality of work.
Okay, in this chapter, discuss about how personality traits give effect toward quality work among your MK staff. Independent variable is the effect of personality traits, meanwhile dependent variable is quality works toward your MK staff. The relationship between every independent variable and dependent variable, also the conceptual of framework and hypothesis are important to further the case study. In the next chapter, the teacher will explain more detail about our case study. And the next chapter is methodology.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is SITI ISMAWATI binti MESWAN. My method number is #20A1797. Now my turn. I would like to present about chapter 3, which is methodology. Introduction. This chapter discuss analysis methodologies. This chapter obviously describe the type of analysis performed to accomplish the case study. The research technique used to create this report is the target population, sample size, sampling process, data collecting, the research instrument, data analysis, and the chapter description are completed. Research is an intellectual endeavor, and as such, the press must be employed in a commercial context. Analysis is an analytical practice, such as the term that must be employed when performing industrial research. The study procedure, data gathering method, sample strategy, and work submitted are all important components of the analytic approach. Research design. The desire to be taken approximately the study's approach is a completely critical selection with inside the study's design procedure. Henry Manheim says that the study's design now no longer best anticipates and specifies the seemingly limitless selections linked with carrying out data series, processing, and evaluation. This study hired a combined sort of strategies that is quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative is a statement primarily based totally on statistical data is used to check the connection among accumulated records. The dissimilarity among the four sorts mainly relates to the extent researcher layout manage of the variable in the experiment. This research proposal studies layout turned into descriptive studies with longitudinal components. Quantitative studies consist of accumulating and reading numerical records for statistical evaluation. Longitudinal research also is required to quantify the earlier, then, and after of unique occurrence. Population example. Population. Population is a statement of gadgets connected collectively through a shared attribute. The term population can confer with the full organization of people, events, or matters of hobby that researchers prefer to explore. This have a look at goal population is UMK employees. The researchers are interested in reading among 20 to 50 years old because many UMK staff are with inside that age group. Sample. Sampling is the act, procedure, or approach of choosing an appropriate pattern in a population. The wide variety of members in a have a look at or finding is called the pattern length. Most research require a pattern length greater than 30, however fewer than 500. Staff UMK were affected personality trait toward quality work. As all of us know, staff UMK were affected with personality traits toward quality work. Because of this condition, many staff need to face various demanding situations in paintings. As a result, the staff UMK will significantly impact through the demanding situation and are predicted to keep struggling. Sampling technique. Sampling is a way that allows researchers to infer populace record primarily based totally on effects from a subset of the populace. In non-probability sampling tactics, members are selected due to the fact they may be available, convenient, or constitute a function that the investigator need to investigate. Sample had been collected from the UMK staff goals demographic. Researcher can acquire responder from throughout Peninsular Malaysia or even East Malaysia using Google Forms and social media. Researcher select UMK staff samples at random from each department. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is AFIQ ANUAR. My numeric H2A1050. Today I want to talk about research instrument. Firstly, we use descriptive analysis, which is descriptive analysis will be used to describe the demographic profile such as the percentage, frequency and average of respondents. Secondly, we use online interview, which is the researchers conduct online interview or observation. Specific action or respondent will be count and ensure that questions are placed consistently. The researchers must make certain that all respondents receive the same information and are tested in the same condition. Last but not least, we use questionnaire that given to respondent, develop and contain a variety of questions for personal, social and situational that personality trait give an effect to quality amount in staff University Malaysia Kelantan. Next is a test data. Test derivative is a degree of different table derived through repeating the integral check with the identical pattern organization throughout time. Although the differentiability of parasol is executed with the calculation finished through doing an assessment of the identical phenomena with numerous evaluation techniques related to identical have a look at cumulative. The percent correlation and coefficient, often known as percent R, is a statistical calculation used to assess the strength of a relationship between two variables. It is used to determine whether there are any correlation between the independent and dependent variable, as well as to calculate how dependent two variables are on each other. The researcher will gain a summary of the major findings detected by the research design, population, sample method, instrument, and data analysis after reading this chapter. The researchers may also learn how to use the research design and work as well as other components because this study.